Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be doing pixel art and tile maps for my for the 2D RPG we're creating as the tutorial series. So pretty much what you're going to need for this part of the series is just Critter. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. Make some tile maps, and then the next episode will be implementing them and then creating some player movement and that kind of stuff. Alright, so when you open up Critter, you should have the start here. Just says new file and open file. You're gonna click new file, and then it should bring up this, and just type in 16 by 16 here, because we'll be using 16 by 16 tiles for our tile map. Alright, and click create. Alright, so you should be able to bring up this. Now this will look a lot more different for you. This won't be here, so to get this color wheel to be big, I think it's a small one, you go to window, workspace, and then you just go big paint, and then it should if I start painting, yours will not look like this. So to be able to get this in the brush presets, you need to go under brush presets and then go pick under this menu, just go pixel art. And yeah, these ones, I just go for this one here. We'll also be using this one as well, because that creates a nice little pattern like this, which that can be used for a lot of things. When you have this one selected, we're going to create some tiles. So a really nice color to use for really dark colors for like maybe floor tilings and that kind of stuff is a really dark purple. Kind of reminds you of like a void or like kind of a fantasy. So I'm gonna be doing a X pattern sort of tiles. So then the sort of diagonal squares. Why am I doing it like this? I'm gonna be doing diagonal squares because it is different to what walls would be. Walls would be very horizontal bricks. And I feel that if you make these also horizontal bricks, then it wouldn't really stand out as a floor. So that's why I am doing like this. I'm going to do it kind of thick. Cool, so now I've got this. Don't worry, if you ever get stuck and everything like this, I'll be providing all these tiles as a downloadable thing on my itch.io after this video is published, so you guys can just download them there. But I do highly recommend that if you are going to create a 2D game that uses pixel art, you need to practice, so you should probably just follow along. Practice makes perfect. If you just keep doing it, you'll eventually get there and be able to do stuff. Now I'm going to go for a kind of light gray here. Now we could use this as the tile, but there's no detail on it. It's two colors. It would look very bland and not very nice. So next thing we want to do is add detail to this. So we're going to get a darker shade of gray. That's potentially too dark. And on the undersides of these, we're going to put gray. So if we put these up maybe to the fourth one, and I'll show you why in a second. 2, 3, 4. And if you can imagine these are tiling, you would expect it to be on the bottom side. These would connect up, so this would be a V shape similar to this V shape. And then that connects to the bottom of there. So let's now lighten this up slightly. Is that too light? Nope. And we're gonna fade off the edges here a little bit. And then we're gonna give it a lighter shade for the tops. And I'd probably put this down to the third one. Just personal preference. Third one. Then let's darken this up a little bit and fade it. Cool, so this is starting to look good. I wouldn't say it's perfect because we can add a little bit more detail. In the darker bits in here, you might want to go for a little bit of a darker purple just to bring it out. Alright, I think that is probably about good. That's all we can really get. Okay, so we have these done now. So how do we sort of put them together? Oh, actually, wait. If we're doing it proper tiling, those would be there. Alright, now we're going to add a little bit of dark or light variation within each of these tiles. So if we do something like this, so we got this now. this is pretty much a finished one. So I'm actually going to create, if we go File and then New, let's create a new document, and let's make it 64 by 64 just to be safe for now. And this is going to store all of our tiles. So if we paste this in here, we've got it here. Now let's see how this actually tiles right now, because we can. That is actually looking really nice. Let's delete the background. We can unlock, delete. Cool. So now we have this. So if you imagine this is the center one, and then if we're going to edge around the edge of walls with like a brick type thing, we're probably going to want to cut this one off here. So we've already got this one here. It's saved into this document here. So let's quickly save this document as a whole in our div, and then we can go Tilemaps, and let's call this dungeon tiles, dungeon tile map. There we go, dungeon tile map. Cool, that's saved. Now we have this still. Okay, so let's select a color that is a nice dark gray, and let's now rim this. Yeah, we're destroying it, and we're going to edge it with a gray tile. Straight away, that does not look very nice. It looks very weird, because it's, you know, just sitting here. But we can actually trick sort of our minds into thinking that it's there. If we add one there, it's sort of like an overhang of the brick. And now let's make some variations. Cool, I'm actually kind of happy with that straight away. So let's paste that in here. Obviously we can change all of these later if we're not feeling it, if we're not thinking they're looking too good. Alright, let's... Now that's only for the top one, right? That's not gonna cut it for all of them, because we can't just rotate it and all that kind of stuff, because it'll be different. Because you won't have this edge here, for when it's on the side here. So, we do have to change it, and also we can't really rotate it because of the shading. So we will have to grab this tile again and reset it. But I'm just trying to make sure that everything is set out properly. So that's our top one. We now need the sides, the corners for all of them, and everything like that. So this is going to be fun. we're gonna make this, and it's going to take a long time. Cool. I'm going to quickly make the corner, and I'll show you what I do when I finish, because it's the same concepts. Alright, so that's the corner done. Now, it looks a bit off, but I promise as soon as we put it into here, it will make sense. Yeah, so pretty much, the reason why I haven't put this lip here is because it wouldn't be there in real life. If we put that there, it looks off, and the reason why is because that is actually out of view, because that is perfectly aligned with the camera, of where the camera would be. Alright, so now we need to make the side ones. I'm not looking forward to that. I think that is done. There we go, and we've got a cool looking tile map now for our dungeons. Now, we are not done. We need to add a lot more. Preferably avoid tiles for underneath and all that kind of stuff. That's really easy. All we need to do is... Crap, I turned on symmetry. So that's pretty much, my process for creating the pixel art. Yeah, this is the dungeon almost done. We now need to do the dungeon walls. The dungeon walls are different to do. We'll still be putting them all on one, like, tile sheet, because it's all part of the dungeon, and then we'll do the outdoor tiles separate. I'll do probably those off camera, just because it's the exact same process of doing them, although it is outdoors instead, different color palette. But yeah, let's get into making the dungeon walls. Okay, so that's this part done. Holy hell, it's taken a long time. Alright, so what else do we need? We need multiple more things. Okay, so let's get started into making some more. Honestly, I'm just doing everything in this now. I probably don't really need this, although I probably will use it for this one actually. Alright, so let's cut this off here. And then we gotta get the dark purple from here. That one. Okay, I believe that is the last tile for this tile map. Okay, that took a while. It definitely did. I might add some later, some extra details, off camera. But this is pretty much finished. So let's actually bring this into Unity now. So, to actually bring this into Unity, we do need to export it. So let's export it. And let's just call it, dungeon map tile. Tilemap, sorry. As, let's say it is .png. Save. Alright, so I've just loaded up Unity. This is the same, scene as what we had in the last episode, where we got everything started, so you should have the graphic scenes. Just go scroll it. If not, and you don't really know how to use Unity, I would suggest you go check that video out. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. You can, yeah, it doesn't really matter. You can just follow this. Alright, now go to where your tilemap is, located, and let's drag it in, under the sprites folder, and it's going to load it up. And it's going to import it. So here it is. Now it looks a bit weird. Let's drag it into Tilemaps. And then Tilemap sheets. And let's just drag that in. Alright, so in here, we need to change a few things. So to make it pixel art, let's set the filter to point, no filter. And the compression to none. And let's just apply this. Alright, so next we're going to go pixels per unit 16. Because each one of our tiles is 16. And let's set the sprite mode to multiple because there's multiple different tiles within this. Next, let's go into the Sprite Editor and then click Slice and then go Type and go by cell size and we'll go 16 by 16. And let's go Slice. So now, as you can see, it actually sliced up all these tiles and now it's set them. So you can change the origin of these if you want to. I would suggest not. That's kind of later on, more advanced stuff. But yeah. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, as you can see, they're all here. What we're going to do is we're going to go game object. I'm going to create a 2D object, and we're going to create a tile map, and let's go rectangular. Cool, so now we have them here, and let's call this a dungeon. And then what we need to do is we need to go into the window, and let's go 2D, and let's open up the tile palette. Let's just dock this to the side to make it easier. And now let's create a new palette. So under assets, under graphics, we're going to go create, and we're going to go call this Tilemap palettes. Next, we're going to create a new palette, and let's call this dungeon. And let's go create. Alright, let's put that under Tilemap palettes, and then go create. Alright, now let's drag in the tiles. So let's go sprites, tilemaps, tilemap sheets, open this up, and let's grab every single one of them and drag them in. Alright, now we're gonna put it under the tiles folder. Let's go select folder, and it's just gonna take a while to create them all. And here we go. Now you can actually sort these out, which I will do, and as you can see all the tiles are in here, by the way. I will actually do because it is a little bit painful to yeah, you just go edit if you want to change some stuff. It is painful. God, this is annoying. I'm just going to dock that down there for now. It's painful to have to go through each one and find what you're looking for when they're all randomly separated. So I'm going to quickly fix them up. Alright, so I've pretty much done it all. I'm actually going to grab these down slightly to make them in line. It's a hand workout, let me just tell you that. But all of them are here, and they're ready to be used. So let's click on the dungeon tile, and let's go to tile palette, and we can start actually painting. So let's grab the... It's not on the edit mode anymore. Let's grab this one here, and we can start painting. So as you can see, if we start painting, it's going to start placing it down. Now, I'm probably off camera, I will add maybe some cracked variants to this, because it does look a little bit bland. But if we go ahead and add some of this, it's actually gonna start creating like a little map that we can play on. This is actually really cool. Go there. That's a little bit better one. Now, just a quick tip, we're actually not going to be putting these ones on the same layer as all of these. So we're actually going to create a separate tile map, and we're going to call this one walls. So this is dungeon underscore floor. We'll actually go dungeon 1 underscore 1 underscore floor. Because if we have multiple per map, let's go sprites, square. Sorry, not sprite, I'm an idiot. 2D object, tile map, rectangular, dungeon 1 underscore walls. Yep, this is pretty much what we need to do. We'll go back to the floor for now, and let's save the scene quickly. We can remove some of these. Pretty much, we are creating an outline for our map. That's essentially what we're doing. So just have fun with it. You can just make little rooms. Oh, it's gonna come out here a little bit. How I think of it is, what would I like to play with if I was a player in a game and I was exploring a dungeon? What would I want to explore? What would I want to find? All that kind of stuff. So this looks pretty decent. We're just gonna add some of this, add some crack variants later. And then next episode we will be doing player movement. And then we'll probably, episode 4, we'll probably be doing objectives. Because that's a big one. Alright, so now on the floor one, as you can see, we made all these tiles here that we can use. We're actually going to use those to pretty much mark it out. And the reason why, so if you start making like this, you can see, oh, there's a little cube here that we need to make. That's why I made these ones. Oop. Now that's actually a bit too big, so I will have to fix that. But for now, that's alright. I'm okay with that for now. And honestly, it does actually kind of look kind of nice. I didn't actually take that into account, so I probably should have. That's okay. We can fix them. I'll fix them off camera. You guys probably should as well. Alright, so that's all the walls lined with those. Now let's, well, all the edges of the floors. Now let's go to the walls. Yeah. Okay, there we go, and just a little trick to save you a little bit of time of having to place a lot of these tiles around. I would recommend you do place more wall tiles around, just in case, like, glitching and that kind of stuff. But, just see the background color is that. Easy peasy. You've got yourself a super cool looking dungeon. And there we go, that's pretty much the second episode done. There's a little bit that I need to fix, and obviously, as you can see, the layering's screwing up. So how do we fix this? So the way we fix this is on the dungeon floors, all these, it says order and layer. So they should all be on the same layer, but they're on layer default. So let's add a new layer and let's call this Tilemaps. And then on these again, we'll go sorting layer. Add sorting layer. Oh, never mind, it doesn't use the layering system. Okay, it's new. Dungeon. Let's see all these as dungeon. And let's set the layer as Tilemaps, because that will come in handy later. Okay, so they're all on dungeon. Floor should be 0. It's on the bottom. walls should be in front of floor. And there we go, that fixes it. Now the player will be behind the walls, but in front of the floors. It's a little bit confusing, but we will have to fix that later with a little bit of scripting. But yeah, this is the end product of what you're doing this episode. Cool. In the next episode, we'll be adding a little bit of character movement and such stuff like that. And then the next one after that would be questing. So there's like objectives, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll be working on the Tilemap a little bit, and then I'll upload it to itch. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy the episode.